Welcome back. I'm so glad you could join me in the workshop again. You know why you're here. Part 2 of the lawnmower. And I don't know if you've noticed, but on a couple of my videos, like the string shooter video, I actually over-deliver compared to what I promise. So yes, we are going to take and pull a VW Beetle, or at least try, and we'll see if I can over-deliver on that promise. Also, have you guys noticed that I put Easter eggs in my videos for the next video? A lot of times, almost every single video has the next video or a following video in the future with some little hint in it. Like the one that led to the tractor series or this mower series was actually in the smelting review video where I had a quick clip of it in there. So they're not necessarily easy to find, but it's something kind of cool. Let's see if you can find the one in this video. Anyways, we got a lot to cover today, so let's get to it.
So I need to get a new belt on here. I'm going to have to cut this because there's no way of getting it around anything. I think I am going to keep this. I really like the old Me's improvised pedal and how I welded a little stop for that. I'll probably flip it upside down though. The other thing I'm looking at doing is I need to take, and the steering stops on this, which isn't good. So I'm probably going to need to move this pillar block over here on this side. Cut that off. Oh, and then I have a whole bunch of grease certs to do all over the place on this thing. You see what? There's one here, here, here. Yeah, they're just everywhere.
To add some context, when I say the previous me, I'm talking about when I was like 12 or 13 and my dad originally got this for me. I really honestly had no clue what I was doing, and I was just kind of putting stuff together and making it work. Not that I know better now.
Came to a determination. I think it's going to be easier to pull this whole thing out and then work on getting these loose because they're stuck on there pretty bad. Alright, so I'm glad that I just tack welded this down because I found this is the closest belt I can get to fitting and it's too loose. So I got to move this whole thing forward, move the motor forward, move that tensioner forward, adjust this tensioner. Yeah, fun. Alright, so now I got to turn my attention to the fact that it has no air filter on it. Now why does it have no air filter on it? Well, this is off of a snowblower, so therefore during the wintertime there's not a whole lot of dust or debris. Now if I get this off, now this is where you can see where there should be a filter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take and 3D print an adapter and make it where this hose can hook up, and I'll probably have to move this choke lever out of the way.
I wasn't sure how much I would use the gas pedal or if I would end up removing it later, so I decided that I was going to leave everything intact. So I'm just going to add on to it, which actually kind of gave it a cool effect. You'll see that at the end. So right now I'm just running the throttle cable over. And for temporary I had to take and tape 2 of these together because I don't have a long one. I'll get one later though. So everybody says. And I think that worked out pretty nice.
Not as clean as I would have liked, but that's alright. Fits the machine. Alright, I want to put the pedal up here, and I want to do that so that way I can have a place to just chill my feet down here where I know I'm not pressing on the gas at all. And I wanted to leave this open so that way I could replace a belt if I ever needed to, but then I remembered 2 things. One is, this belt lasts a long time, and two is, versus trying to find like some way of bolting this right here to make it stronger, I could put this on and I got the tool to fix it if I ever need to get it back off. That'll work. I already forgot my trick about welding this off so that way it's all one piece. Oops. Alright, so that's just enough jank for me. And I really wanted to keep this because, like I said, I kind of like the past me did that. A little adjustment and I'll be done. Some people's idea of what's dangerous is different than others, so I'll just leave it up to your imagination as to how that part got attached.
I had these lights laying around in the garage, and I thought they'd be perfect in case I end up working late in the woods. Somebody had told me you couldn't wire them up directly, but it seemed to work for me. I'm thinking they're referring to regular lights and not LEDs. LEDs are diodes, so they worked. And of course I need a switch. I may have to replace this with a waterproof one later, as I don't store this thing inside. It was a bit bouncy, so I added these rods which are going to help support it. You know we're getting close when I start adding lights and testing things. So all we're going to have to do next is take and put on some brakes. Although this brake looks a little small, I'm going to put it on a spot where the gear ratio should give it an advantage, and it's what I had laying around. And I like the gas pedal idea so much I decided to repeat it on the other side and smile at myself in another 10 years or 20 years when I look back at what I did. I wanted to make it a little easier to step on though, so I decided to add a little bit to it, which I think was a great look. I really like machines where they're just kind of functional, not designed to be pretty, a little bit of a junkyard combobulation. So now I just got to hook everything up. It should be good to go.
Alright, so now that we got everything done, it's time to try to pull a VW Beetle. Now remember, I still got an attempt at trying to over-deliver afterwards, so stick around for that.
If you're wondering about the black spot, it's because I melted my lens when I was welding. That's a couple $100 mistake. So what I realized is the trailer had been sitting, so it made some ruts that I was sitting in. So I thought I'd try to move it backwards and then see if I could move it forward.
So now, although this looks successful, there's an issue. So we got to talk about that over-delivery thing. So when I pulled the trailer, the brakes worked great. However, when I pulled the VW Beetle, that's a lot of weight. And that added weight, the brakes couldn't handle. I'll be honest, I kind of saw this coming, but it's what I had on hand, and I was really hoping it was going to work. Maybe a little naive. But if I was going to over-deliver, what would I pull? I think I would try to pull a full-size quad cab pickup truck. You know I'm gonna send it. I'll be honest, I was actually really surprised at the outcome. I did not think it was going to pull the truck, and he actually pulled it and pulled it with pretty good ease. So it makes me kind of wonder what's the breaking point of this thing, but I'm not ready to find out. Anyways, till next time, keep creating. Don't forget to like and share.